Greetings, gang. All right, well, it's mid-May or close enough. Thought I'd give you a spring garden tour. I know a lot of you guys have all sorts of questions and everything like that. Uh, but I am going to overdub this. I'm going to video it, and then I'm going to uh, do the commentary sitting separately, just for the simple reason it's a little noisy outside and with people mowing lawns and things like that. So, in the interest of you guys being able to hear me, that's what I'm going to do. So, let's go take a walk. All right, so we'll start with the English peas here, and this is all stuff that I planted in my rain gutters. As you can see, I got about 3 rows of them. Looking good. They are, I'd say about 2 feet high at this point. There are a few flowers on there, but it's probably a little early to get some peas. But good cold weather crop. Moving on, potatoes. Something that you guys gotta plant. Okay, potatoes are simple to grow. Y'all saw what I was planting, shriveled up, wrinkly potatoes with long chits on them, everything like that. I'd say they look good. I've got to go in and hill them. I just went through and weeded the other day, so next step is to hill them. But that's what potatoes are gonna look like. Next, my beets. Beets are always fun because I've got all sorts of little weeds in here, as you can kind of see, and the beets are still small, but not super small. If you take a look here, they're a couple inches high. So we'll let those keep growing, and then I can pick out all those little weeds as we go. Moving on over, I just planted my corn last weekend. It hasn't germinated yet, so that should probably be up in the next few days. Then I got my garlic. My garlic took a hit from the winter cold, the Christmas weather. So we'll see what I get in garlic this year. I'm not overly optimistic. Green peppers. I planted a bunch of green peppers here. So really got 50 of them, I think it is. Looking good. They've been in the ground now for about 2 weeks. So chugging on along. Moving into my cabbages, you've got Napa cabbage on the right and purple cabbage on the left. Those have been in the ground now for about 3 weeks. Looking good. And as we move over here, there's my second planting of regular head cabbage. Those have been in for about 3 weeks too. I planted them all at the same time, so all looking good. There was a couple in there that didn't take the transplant, but these are the cabbages that we planted in January to test the greenhouse, guys. As you can see, they are absolutely gorgeous. There's no bug damage. It's been cool. They're all heading and everything like that. So looking quite good here for cabbage. I should have cabbage here in the next couple of weeks. All right, moving over. Raspberries and blackberries. As you can see, they are flowering like crazy. And if we come up close, you will see all the little berries, and I mean all the little berries forming on the edge. There are just boatloads of berries. So my big catch will be, as they start to ripen, grow and ripen, is to get them before the birds do, because the birds are going to be crazy. But making raspberry jams or just eating raspberry, stuff like that, certainly a good food to have. Like I said a while back, a sweet tooth. Get your raspberries in. But raspberries are simple to plant. These are Walmart plants. Strawberries. Mrs. P and I have been eating off our strawberries already. These are plants that one of y'all sent me 5 runners last year, and so we planted them, and this is how they have spread. Looking good. Tomatoes, those there are all volunteer tomatoes. Those are the ones I talked to you. I had my Bartelli hybrid cherry tomatoes, so we'll see what they come up with. This is where I will plant my squash. It's not ready to go on the ground yet. Straw bales, this is me conditioning my straw bales for my sweet potatoes. 8 bales this year, so I'll plant like 24 sweet potato slips and get a whole bunch of sweet potatoes. And then of course it's right in the garden this year, so I can turn it right into compost and for next year. Marconi peppers, these just went in last weekend, so they are looking good. They all made the transplant, no problem. So we'll let them grow a little bit before we top them off. And then the next, all the little holes there, that's where I planted black beans a few days ago. They aren't ready yet, or they haven't germinated yet. And of course, up against the other side there, if you can see them, are a whole bunch of tomatoes again. Over yonder, banana peppers. These have been in for a couple of weeks and they are looking good. Let's see, if we move over here to my right, we have all my onions. These are Texas Legend onions. They are doing quite well, and yes, I know I've got to get in and give them a haircut, but I've been doing a million things and I haven't got to them, but they are looking really good. So I'm pretty happy with my onions. I'm praying I get baseball-sized onions this year, not golf ball-sized onions. The right in front there is where my cantaloupe will go in. As we have there, those are tomato transplants that we just put in the other day. So hopefully those will continue to thrive. And in the back are the jalapenos. A few of those did not survive the transplant, so I put some seeds in there just to try to fill in the holes and see if I get some more. So that was that. Carrots. This is my carrot experiment, guys. And if you look, you can see I have carrots growing in all of my little carrot boxes, my carrot tube holds. So I'm optimistic that I will get my carrots this year. Looking good. So I'm quite happy about how that's all turned out. So, as you take a look there, I know a lot of work, but if I get carrot. So you look at growing, okay? And sure, there's a lot of stuff in there. It's in most of the country, it's probably too late to plant peas. It's probably too late to plant cabbages and things like that. Because, if I'm already getting ready to harvest on stuff like that, this isn't time to start from seed. All right? But the point is, now that we're, for the most part, pretty much everybody is past their last frost date. Unless you live in International Falls, Minnesota or something like that, or maybe Alaska, chances are you can get planting. Even if you are just putting a seed in the ground right now, guys, get that seed in the ground. Growing stuff is not that difficult, all right? The hardest part about growing stuff is building good soil. You can go buy good soil, all right, if you want your decent soil at least, and plant stuff in buckets. But I wanted to show you here that yes, it's possible. Yes, you can grow in not ideal conditions. As great as greenhouses are and stuff like that, don't ever think that you have to have a greenhouse, otherwise you're never going to grow something. Or you have to have a big piece of property or you're never going to grow something. You can do it in buckets, in kiddie pools, in grow bags. Anything, guys. The bag that your soil comes in, it says Miracle Grow on it. Cut 2 holes in the top and stick 2 tomato plants in there. It'll grow fine in there. Just grow some food. You're going to need it this year. To save yourself some money, absolutely. For the shortages in the store, now that we have immigrants running across the border like crazy, all right, what are they going to do? They're going to buy the food too. Get out and grow something. As simple as it is, like I said, 5-gallon buckets, a couple of bags of soil, and throw a couple of tomato seeds in there. At least you got some tomatoes. And at $4 a pound, what they are around here, okay, maybe that 2 tomato plants that you grow grows you 10 pounds of tomatoes. There's $40 worth of tomatoes, okay? As opposed to the, maybe $15 you spend on soil and find a couple of buckets laying around. That's about it. Think about it that way. Have a good one. If anything happens in the world, I'll be back. Pinball out.